Double Bill Gates?
Maybe. Everything can be true in here, in Shanghai, in China.
Do you genuinely think, Charlie, you've got a chance of being twice as big as Bill Gates?
Yeah. Actually, I believe that.
Should he be worried, Bill Gates?
Yes, you must worry about the Chinese guy.
Yeah.
There is a lot of young guy like me, maybe millions.
What you're saying is, in China, there's millions of Charlies.
Yeah.
And you're
millions.
coming, right?
Yeah,
You're coming
for
us.
Yeah, I'm coming.
It's this bullish attitude that's given Shanghai its competitive edge, turning it into the capitalist playground that the rest of his socialist state aspires to.
The one thing I'm learning about Shanghai is they don't do things by halves here, and they definitely don't like coming second. For example, when they heard there were a few big hotels going up in places like Dubai and Seoul, they thought to themselves, nah, we can do better than that. And they built this, the Park Hyatt, which at 93 stories is officially the highest hotel in the history of mankind.
Let's just hope this is all built on more than Dubai's shifting economic sands. You'll find the best room here on the 88th floor.
Whoa! Now that is a view. But so it should be, because in communist China, you don't just get an ordinary president's suite, you get one of these babies, a chairman's suite at £8,000 a night. But for that, you do get quite a lot. You get your own private kitchen with your own chef, your own butler, a steam room, an infinity pool, just about every form of capitalist luxury you could wish for.
And it's not for us foreign Westerners, it's the local communists who are lapping it up.
I just wonder if this is what Chairman Mao had in mind when he brought in the Cultural Revolution.
Shanghai is changing the world's preconceptions of Red China, though not without some help from a new breed of British expat.
26-year-old, bit of a Sloan. You probably wouldn't mind that, would you?
Sloan, that's amazing.
I try to get to grips with the local produce.
Blimey. Easy, Tiger.
Whilst one man and his wife are double-handedly bringing the sin back to this city.
What do you think Chairman Mao would have made of your act, Noel?
I'd give him a seat at the back.
At the last count, there were 20 million people calling this place home. And they keep coming at a rate of 200,000 a year. Shanghai is one of the biggest cities on Earth. And everyone's here for exactly the same thing. Money.
It's a far cry from rural China, where peasants exist on pitiful incomes, less than a third of their city comrades. Meanwhile, luxury apartment blocks are springing up all over Shanghai to house the new urban super-rich. This one's owned by Pearl Lam, a multi-millionaire art dealer whose personal collection takes up an entire floor. So she's had to move out to the lavish penthouse above it.
Lovely to see you. Thank you for inviting me in. Oh, my God. How far does it go?
You can skate through.
Is this your dining room table?
Yes.
How many do you get around there?
If I push to the limit, it's 66.
66 people.
Yeah.
Pearl, can you pass the salt, please? Very Art Deco, isn't it?
This is not Art Deco, this is 60s.
I knew I said the wrong thing. What's in here? This is like being on the Starship Enterprise.
Isn't that great?
When you have a hangover, does it feel a bit dizzy in here?
No, actually I feel great here.
Here's my favourite bit, a self-opening loo. And there's a terrace opening out onto a view only the wealthiest could afford.
Whoa. Look at that. What a view.
This penthouse is all about entertaining, so Pearl's invited a few of her influential pals over for a power chat with me. There's Lynn, the internet entrepreneur, Ilaria, the industrialist, and Zoe, the film producer.
All of you four ladies are very successful in your own right. Laura, you actually run a big manufacturing business for some of the most famous fashion brands in the world, don't you? Who do you make clothes for?
I'm sorry, I can't tell you.
Why can't you tell me who they are?
I have the contract with them. I'm not allowed to talk who are producing in my factory.
But these are some of the biggest brands in the world.
Well known.
Famous.
I think so.
But they don't want the world
I'm
to know.
sorry on that. I
They don't want
don't
the
want to
world
go deeper.
No, but they don't want the world to know that you're making them in Shanghai.
Oh, sorry, I cannot go deeper.
See, what I love about Shanghai is the women are all so confident. And as the Americans would say, you kick butt.
I think the Shanghai woman rules because it is the husband who cook, who look after the children, who does everything because
Really?
they worship the ladies.
What, the guys come home from a hard day's work and they cook, clean, look after the kids. What do you lot do? All go out on the rag?
No, they're being worshipped. Here, when you get married, you don't carry your husband's name. Yeah.
Really?
Yes. This is the communist rules. That's true. Yeah.
See, there are some things about communist China that obviously are rather good, like that, from your point of view.
Very liberal at all. Yeah.
And are you free to talk about anything here? I mean, can you talk about politics quite freely and openly?
In a private, in a private environment, I think you can talk about anything, right?
Communism might have brought equality for women, and perhaps the well-heeled can speak freely in their secluded penthouses. But just 2 minutes down the road, things are rather different. Here you'll find the familiar authoritarian face of Red China. This is Shanghai's Old Town, where life is lived on the street.
Excuse me. Back up. Yeah.
The poor have been here for decades, but they won't be around for much longer. These streets and communities are being demolished to complete the next stage of the government's urban plan.
All over the old part of Shanghai, you'll see signs like this on buildings, which means they've been condemned effectively. The government's decided to knock them down and to build something new and exciting. Now, the people who live here get displaced anywhere the government sees fit, and there's no right of appeal, no petition. This is communist China. You're out, mate.
The alternative is to be rehoused in new state-built suburban developments or accept cash compensation. But there have been angry protests by the Shanghainese who live here over the derisory amounts the government's offering as an incentive to move away from this very valuable inner-city land. So I was surprised by how accepting this man was about his resettlement. He's lived here for 56 years.
Is this the price that you have to pay for change in Shanghai? So it's really interesting. The government decided one day to knock down his property and displace him 8 kilometres away from here, away from everything he knows. And yet his attitude is one of great pride that he's doing his bit for the national cause.
With a population density already 4 times that of New York's, I guess something's got to give to house the hundreds of thousands of rural migrants who arrive here every year searching for that Shanghai dream. Yet the 20 million people who live in Shanghai are just the tip of China's 1.3 billion population.